What is Polybius? You can turn back now, or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. The gaming industry is a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. According to the Entertainment Software Association, 58% of Americans play video games. Some games may have budgets on par with Hollywood blockbusters. As video games evolve into increasingly immersive cinematic experiences, the moral panics of previous years have lessened. Old warnings about the dangers of violent games just don't hold the same weight now that gaming is a mainstream hobby. But what if there's a seed of truth in the panic? What if there's a video game that won't just hurt you, but kill you? Here's where it gets crazy. Enter the legend of Polybius. The story starts in 1981, where a few isolated arcades in Portland, Oregon received a mysterious game called Polybius. Named for the Greek historian, this game used logic puzzles and mazes, and it affected players, giving them headaches, nausea, and psychological damage. Despite this, the game became very popular. Patrons lined up to play as if addicted. At the end of each day, men in black would visit and download the game's records. It's a hell of a story, but is it true? Most researchers don't think so. There's just not much evidence, leading writers like Brian Dunning to call it a hoax. Some people, such as Stephen Roach, claim to have intimate knowledge of the game, but their claims haven't stood up to scrutiny. The story didn't hit the public until the early 2000s, meaning that if the game did exist, then no one mentioned it for more than 2 decades. Photos of the Polybius cabinet have usually turned out to be home-built homages, but urban legends are often inspired by true stories. First, people really have experienced nausea while gaming. Dunning notes that 2 people became ill playing video games in Portland in 1981, knocked out on the same day at the same arcade. And the US government has approached game makers, such as when they contacted Atari for a custom version of Battlezone. And people who suffer from photosensitive epilepsy can experience seizures when exposed to certain patterns of light. While these facts do not prove this legend is real, they do show that it may have a loose basis in truth. A discussion of the Polybius legend brings up larger points. For example, world governments do increasingly use computer simulations for training purposes, sometimes coupled with drugs, supplements, or technology like TDCS, and they found that these approaches can affect the human brain, notably in reducing training time or assisting memory retention. That's the public research, at least. So is Polybius just an unprovable myth built from pieces of true events, or was it part of something else, something the government doesn't want you to know? And how do video games actually affect your brain? Stay tuned to find out in our next episode.